Before the Pleiadians, before the Sirians, actually before a lot of star races that people talk about, there were the Lyrans. The Lyrans are important because they are one of the oldest ancient advanced civilizations in our galaxy today. They were the builders, they were the explorers, they were the leaders, they were the creators of the whole entire galaxy. And a lot of people connect them to the original humanoid template, meaning that they were one of the early civilizations that helped spread human-looking life throughout different star systems. So the two arms, the two legs, one head, a 5-point star system, bipedal. They were from the Lyran system. They seeded everybody here. But again, the Lyrans aren't just one look. So some describe them as being tall, human-like beings with stronger features, very powerful energy. They are very advanced in their consciousness. But others describe Lion Lyrans, so huge feline humanoids. They are very regal, they are very protective, and very warrior-like. These are the beings that people are connecting to lion symbolism, so feline guardians, sphinx energy that you see in Egypt, royal bloodlines. There's also ancient cat beings that show up across human history, and that connection goes back to Lyra, and that's huge because the Lyrans were not just peaceful spiritual beings floating around in space. They actually had a whole entire civilization. They had structure, they had advanced technology, they had good leadership, they had a wonderful culture and art and creativity. They had families, they had cities. They were one of the original expansion races. And because of that, Lyra became a major target. And this is where the Lyran Wars come in. The Lyran Wars are described as one of the biggest conflicts in galactic history, a major invasion and destruction event that scattered many of the Lyran groups across the galaxy. Most of these accounts are connected to the Draco or reptilian associated forces, but not again, every reptilian is a negative faction. But they were also one of the oldest civilizations that came into the galaxy, the Dracos and the Lyrans. These lower frequency conquering groups were expanding, they were invading star systems, and they were taking control of all of these different factions. Lyra was one of those places that got hit incredibly hard, and if you are connected to Lyra, there's something in you that is connected to what happened there. So entire planets over there were attacked, civilizations were destroyed, millions of them perished, families were separated, and many Lyrans were forced to leave their home worlds and relocate. That is why Lyra is connected to the Great Galactic Migration, because after the wars, Lyran groups spread into other systems. Some went into Vega, some were connected to the Pleiades star system, some connected to Sirius, and then some connected to Orion. And then some eventually influenced human civilization here on Earth. So when people talk about the Lyrans, it's not just about these lion beings, it's about the actual origin, the ancestry there, the survival, the migration, and the trauma of losing your own home world. And that's why a lot of people here resonate with Lyran energy, because you carry a deep inner feeling of, I don't want to be controlled, I do need freedom, I need sovereignty, and I need to build my own path. Lyran energy is very independent. It doesn't want to be boxed in. It doesn't want to be told what to do. It doesn't do well under domination, manipulation, or control systems. This is creator energy. This is leader energy. This is protector energy. And sometimes it's warrior energy when they have to step in. But it's not always done in an aggressive way, because they have to protect what they love. They can't abandon their truth. They can't let somebody else define their own powers. That is Lyran frequency. Now, human-like Lyrans, they're often described as being very tall, strong, very radiant beings with an ancient presence. They can have blonde, brown, black, red, silver, or white hair. Their eyes are often blue or green, they're gold. Sometimes they're amber, violet, or silver. And then their skin tones, of course, they vary too, much like humans. So light, tan, bronze, golden, darker skin tones. And sometimes they're very luminous or slightly otherworld appearance because they are higher vibrational. And then you have the Lion Lyrans. They are much larger, so sometimes about 7 to 10 feet tall. Strong bodies, pure muscle, lion-like faces. They have gold or amber type eyes. They do have thick manes of hair. They have very regal postures and an energy that feels ancient. It feels protective and commanding. They are not soft in the same way that Pleiadians are soft, and they're not structured in the same way that Sirians here are structured, but Lyrans feel very primal. They do feel creative and royal, powerful, and ancient, and they like to carry the memory of what it feels like to be free. Their technology, very advanced, but not cold type advanced, more connected to light and frequency and crystals and sound and consciousness itself. So their ships, they're described as being very sleek. They are very powerful. Sometimes they are gold, they are bronze, or they are light-based technologies. And then some of these Lyran crafts have more of this ancient regal type of look, almost like advanced technology mixed with like temple architecture. So again, very elegant, very regal. Now their cities are massive. They are beautiful and they're connected to nature. So they have like these golden temples. They also have crystal structures. They have open skies. They have lion statues, star maps. They have training halls there. They also have council chambers where they hold a lot of meetings. These spaces, they feel like a civilization, but also a warrior academy at the same exact time. Now let's talk about their psychic abilities, because those are also very strong. They use telepathy. They also have energy projection technology. They heal through frequency, again, leadership, again, through presence itself. They have very strong intuitions and they have a good memory access. Yes, they have the ability to work with sound and light and geometry to create or move energy. But the biggest Lyran gift is basically the sovereignty that they have. They teach people how to stand in their own power, not from ego, not from control, but from actual truth itself. The Lyran message is not to wait for somebody to save you. What they want you to know is they want you to remember who you are and stop handing your power away. And that's why Lyran Starseeds here are drawn to leadership and creativity. They're drawn to animals, ancient history. They're drawn to freedom. They're drawn to truth. They're drawn to entrepreneurship, so doing things on their own. They're also into protection, protecting their civilizations, their home, their family, and they break generational curses. They are not here to blend in at all. They are here to create. They are here to lead. They are here to protect and to rebuild. And to remember that even after complete destruction, a civilization can still rise again. And this is the message and the deeper meaning behind the Lyran story. They lost worlds. They scattered across the stars. They did not disappear. Their energy moved into other systems, other civilizations, other bloodlines, other timelines, and eventually into Earth's story as well. And this is why so many people feel connected to Lyra. And it's not usually just because they like lions or they like cats and stars and stuff like that. It's because they remember freedom. They remember sovereignty. They remember losing their home world. Something in them remembers being powerful before the world told them they needed to shrink and be controlled. So something in them remembers that they were never meant to be controlled at all. And that's the message they are trying to deliver to humanity through you and through the frequency itself, that you do not need to be controlled by the systems put here on Earth. You can remain in sovereignty and still be in your power and have freedom on top of that. If you feel deeply connected to lions or cats or ancient civilizations, leadership, creativity, freedom, truth, or the feeling that your soul came here to build something, you may have Lyran energy showing up in your field. If you want to explore your own galactic connections, your soul history, your gifts, your mission, book a Starseed Origins reading with me at my website, sarahstarofficial.com. I'm Sarah Star, your galactic guide, here to help you remember who you truly are.